Hey guys, I just wanted to share some professional development books that I've been using to help the workshop model in my classroom. I chose this as my choose your own professional development on the bingo board for my professional development bingo at my school, which is an awesome thing and I'm loving it. And I love reading and professional development, so I thought, how do I combine those two things into my choose your own? And this is how I decided to do it. So, over the summer, I went to a professional development class, Readers and Writers Workshop by Stephanie Turlich and Lisa Robinson. And they introduced me to a lot of these authors that I am so excited to read. And they really align with my teaching philosophy and my hopes to have independent reading, choice reading in the classroom, and just lots of differentiation through choice. And so I wanted to share today some books that have really helped me think through some of those things. So the first one is Book Love by Penny Kittle. She gives some great advice on how to implement independent and choice reading, and her big thing is conferences and conferencing with students, teaching them it's okay to abandon a book, how to choose a book, how to give a book a chance. She does a lot of book talks and things like that, and so she gives a lot of great concrete activities to do with kids over finding great books. The second one is also by Penny Kittle, and it is Right Beside Them, and this is all about how to get into the workshop mentality with writing lots of drafts, writing different kinds of drafts, using mentor text to show the features of different genres, all of those kinds of things. And it is super relatable and easy to get into. And even though some of these books are a little older, I mean, they're not from the past 2 years or anything, but they're still very relevant, I think, today. And all of these things can be implemented right away in classrooms. And it can be a little overwhelming when you read all of these things and you kind of want to do it all at once if you're anything like me. But what's really great is that you can kind of just pick and choose and put a post-it note on some things that you really want to implement right away. And it's a process, and you'll always be working on the workshop model in your classroom, and I don't think it'll ever be finished. So this is a good way to take a few of the activities and implement them and then to grow from there. The third one I have today is The Book Whisperer by Donalyn Miller. This one is also a little older, but she has some great ideas for changing up how we do reading. It's not about reading logs, and it's not about forcing kids to read all the same book, but it's kind of meeting in the middle. How do we read books collectively, have choice reading, have like shorter text that you read together, all of those kinds of things. And so she has some great ideas in there. And also a lot of this stuff is all about modeling. So not only do the kids do these things, but the teachers should as well. So when the kids are reading, you should be reading or conferencing with them, not sitting behind your desk. That's not what this is all about. Or if the kids are writing on some prompt, you need to write on it too, and have them help you edit papers and have read alouds, because reading aloud and thinking aloud through your text will actually help kids, because we assume that when they get to us, or at least I assume when they get to me as a 10th grade teacher, that they should know already how to comprehend and how to make predictions and how to make connections to their own life, but they don't necessarily. So they give you a lot of advice on how to be a good model, and just implementing more modeling in your classroom and how that can really help. The last one I have today, I just finished. It's by Kylene Beers, and it's When Kids Can't Read What Teachers Can Do. And this really, she read my mail with this one, because she talks all throughout the book about how she has a student, George, who she basically let down in her perspective throughout her first year of teaching, because she didn't know how to teach kids to use context clues. She just said, go use context clues. She didn't know how to get kids to know how to comprehend reading. She just said, just do it. And sometimes I find myself falling into that trap as well. One, because I'm a really natural reader, and two, because I didn't always see what my teachers were doing to help me learn how to read throughout school. And we assume that kids should know how to read and learn how to read in elementary school, but that's not necessarily the case. So how, when they get to us as secondary teachers, can we help them think through these things and be very concrete about it and teach them and then implement it and then track it? And she gives you a lot of great ideas for that. And in her time, there was a lot of push for phonics as a way to learn how to read. And she gives you some linguistics information and stuff like that, but a lot of it is mostly like, how do we just teach them how to comprehend, how to make predictions, context clues for vocabulary, all of those things. So those are my 4 books that I have really loved reading since I've done that Readers and Writers Workshop, and I'm still working on more, but those are some main authors that have some really great text over this. And in addition to those, if you're interested in the workshop model, I suggest checking out the blog post, 3 Teachers Talk. The blog, 3 Teachers Talk, because it's a really great place to learn all about workshop and how it's being used in level classes, in AP classes, and all of that. So those are my suggestions for if you're looking to implement the workshop model in your ELA classroom. Have a good one.